Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Costello. I'm here today with my colleague Leo Farberg over there on the beautiful island of Ireland. I nearly got tongue twisted getting that one out. Hi, Leo. How are you doing?
I'm fine. It's raining outside.
It's raining. Wow.
Yeah, it's
We're gonna,
Ireland. It's
well,
raining. It's
yeah,
Ireland.
I know. We're going to have a 27 or 28 degree day today, apparently. So that's quite cool. Well, quite cool if I didn't have to spend the day in the office, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so, what we're going to talk about today is some of the things that make Leo and I roll our eyes a bit, or sigh,
Like
or
this.
think, "Oh, what's going on?" And because some of these things that we were talking about this the other day, some of these things matter a great deal. They matter to the therapist, and they matter to the client as well. And sometimes people come with interesting ideas about what they should be or should not be receiving. So recently, I had a client who we began by me asking him to outline what was going on in his world, and he did that. And the bottom line was that he was saying to me, Steve, can't you just fix me? I don't want to do the work. That implies that I've got to do even more and I've got enough on my plate. I really don't want to do the work. So please, come on, just fix me. And I rolled my eyes. Well, I didn't do it on screen, but internally I rolled my eyes like, oh, come on. No, I can't just fix you because change is not instant. And it's also not entirely the therapist or counselor's job to do the fixing. So how does that one hit you, Leo? What does that make you roll your eyes?
Oh yes, absolutely. Even like face palm, because oh my goodness, you still there is this it's not an idea. It's not pronounced as such, but it's like this uh, silent understanding of a human, of a person, of organism, as if it's a thing, as if it's a car or some mechanical object. And so you just fix it, you just change some part, you just put some oil, and it like, okay, go on working. But we forget that we are live beings and we grow and we evolve and we are even if we sit down or sleep or whatever, we're in constant dynamics. It's it's live. You cannot just do like this. Even if you I do believe in things, woo-woo things like hands-on healing and stuff, but you still have to sit with that, you know, and it works better. Even this one, which is not considered like official psychology or something or medicine, but many people talk about it and do it and believe in it, but it still works best if you teach your client to do it yourself. Like first know how your processes go, and not just know, not from a textbook, but how it works within you and how you feel it, how you understand it. And this and psyche works this way. You have to know yourself and you know where your difficulties are and see what has to be fixed, but it doesn't mean just taken away and then another detail inserted. It's like, okay, it's like growing. Have you seen those Chinese fruit when they put a, a mold on let's say an apple or a pear, like, and it becomes round or like a teddy bear or something.
Yeah.
So it's growing, but it's just shaped into a mold. And all of us are like this. We are shaped into the molds of our upbringing, societal influences, our beliefs, and sometimes they don't fit us well or prevent us from doing something or make us do wrong things. It's our how our brain operates. And if you know what you who you are, what you want, and what your difficulties are, then you can kind of start breaking this mold and letting yourself grow bigger or to some direction. But you have to know this and then work on this because it's growing.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
brain connections.
Yeah. In defense of the people who say, can't you just fix me? I get it. I get why they're saying that. And it's because their
Absolutely.
head is full. Their
Mhm.
body is full. Their body is tired quite often and exhausted because they've got all of this input that they don't know how to manage. It's difficult as it is. And the input never stops. It just keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming. It could be coming
And,
from the family, from the workplace. So we end up with
and it
a
goes on,
race
goes
around the
on.
brain. And yes, that's where we come in. That's where we can help. We can work it out. We can break things down. We can do all kinds of things. But the problem is, some of these people, the one I used as an example at the start, for example, started complaining, kind of saying, this isn't fair. I've had enough of this. This is exhausting. I don't want this to continue. Blah, 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 blah. And he had a really, really good vent. Now, sometimes a good vent is useful, it can help. But the vent kind of didn't go anywhere and it was running around in circles. And really, what he was doing was doing a lot of complaining and no reflection. Because part of the thing, of course, is that he needs to take some responsibility for his own healing. Okay, he may need some guidance to get onto the track where he begins to see what responsibility he needs to take, and so on and so on. So there's quite a lot to it. But complaining without any reflection is another eye roller for me. Like,
Yeah.
come on, you can't keep complaining. Wait, okay, have that vent, get it out there, release. Now let's talk about it. But
But
there was a feeling that, I've done the release, I've done the shout, I've had the vent. Don't want to talk about it. No, I've just done it. But that's not going to
mhm.
fix anything, right?
But you noticed, you mentioned a good word, reflection. And we usually understand reflection when we speak psychology is that you think and you kind of reevaluate and reshape your thoughts and let them go some other direction and stuff. But there is another meaning of the word reflection, is like a reflection in a mirror. And to be able to have reflection, you have to have this uh, shiny mirror to see, to reflect your thoughts. And sometimes you, in your head, you don't have it or you cannot find one. It's a very special way of thinking to be able to think about what you think, right? And
Yeah,
so that's why another person and better be qualified therapist, though in some cases people are just reflections of one another. And the reason therapist is different from just other people is that we kind of know we're doing and what know how we're trying to provoke reflection within a person. Everyday dialogues, everyday conversations don't imply it. People just communicate or maybe vent together or vent like over each other, like fighting. That's what most people do. They
yeah,
talk and talk and talk and vent and vent and vent, and they don't reflect because again, there are so many difficulties in communication nowadays, and
sure.
that's why therapist is not some particular magic method. It's just being together with a person and helping recognize the mold, starting melting the mold, or finding the first the softer place in this mold where we can start,
Yeah.
or the most hurting one or something. That's the
So
trick.
I've got a question. Can
Well,
you read my mind?
an interesting question and a good one.
Can you or
Because
not?
not no, I
No.
cannot. I don't know in telepathy, but we both know that people have this way of connecting. It's kind of not trying to think what you think, but kind of connecting to each other and reading the state, reading the posture, reading the expression on the face, and we're not usually conscious about it.
Yeah.
This is, by the way, another thing where we, as therapists, can pay attention, clients' attention to. Do you notice how your face like turns red when you start talking about this?
Yeah.
That means you have a reaction, bodily reaction.
Yeah. So that your response to that was great. So quite often we'll come across a client who appears to be hiding the truth. But in their defense, no, they're not really hiding the truth. They have got a lot going on. And in many cases, it's been going on for a very, very long time. So sometimes they do appear to be hiding the truth. However, on the other side of that coin, some people do hide the truth because they don't want to confront it. There's a million reasons.
Yeah, feel
And they
shame
hide
around
the
it.
truth, assuming that I can actually read their mind. And okay, I'm a qualified professional, and it may appear that I'm reading a mind, but as you just said, there's all kinds of things involved, the signals that people give, the body language, the color of their complexion, and so on and so on. There's a lot of things to be aware of. But we can't read minds.
No.
We need people to talk to us. We need people to say, actually, the truth is this. I don't like it. It's uncomfortable. It makes me want to scream or run for the hills, but let's not hide the truth, because hiding the truth doesn't help anybody, and it certainly slows the process down. So where are you on this one?
Yeah, but and again, truth is another like big idea, because what's the truth?
Yeah.
Whom is this person hiding this truth from? Mostly themselves. It's not a big secret. It's not a criminal drama where a policeman, like an investigator, has to find out what the truth is. But in working with human mind, it's a bit different. And again, what gives us probably the experience we have in the profession implies that we can kind of guess that there's something's missing here. We don't know what. We're just, again, can feel the tension, can feel that there is some gap here, and ask questions to investigate further. It's not like that we put a gun to your head and say, now confess the truth. It's just, let's see, is there any other way to look at this? Is there something missing? Or was there something here that feels the same way? And so we have all these questions that it's not a protocol that you open up a list of questions and start interrogating the person. It's kind of, it grows through like an almost a natural conversation, but the therapist is someone who is mindful about this conversation and why you ask questions, not just because we're curious. It's because we feel that there is something else or another solution, whatever. What do you think? Do you do this?
One of the things that jumps out at me through the last couple of minutes that you've been talking is it's complicated. It's complex. It takes a lot of work, even for people like us. It takes quite a lot of work to find out what's going on, and then to be able to develop ways and means of managing what's going on so that people can step forward. I call it in a new light. So there's a lot involved in all of that, and it's not simple, it's complex. One of my personal things is that when I take on a new client, I want to work myself out of a job as quickly as possible. Albeit, it's got to be safe, it's got to be in their best interest, not my best interest. But I don't want to hold on to them for the next 10 years. You know, we hear stories, certainly in the movies. I've been in therapy for the last 50 years or whatever it is. I don't want that for my clients. I want my clients to move forward. So I work with them as quickly as humanly possible relating to their situation. But having said that, one of the eye-rolling moments is expecting change to come that quick. And many clients do, not all, but many clients do. They want change, they want it right now. They haven't got time in their mind, I haven't got time to spend the next 6 weeks or 6 months working on this. I want results now. So quite often people will say things like, give me a formula. What can I do? And then the funny thing is, I use exercises quite a lot. So at the end of a session, I'll say to them, okay, here's a little exercise. And all I want you to do is practice this however many times a day is appropriate for the exercise. Just practice it every day until we next meet. And make sure you do it. Don't forget, keep practicing, practice, practice. And then note any results. Let me know when we meet again. And they don't do it. So they come back next time and they've not done it, or they've done it once or twice. It didn't work, so I didn't do it anymore.
Yeah, it didn't work. It annoyed them.
Yeah, it annoyed them. Not all exercises fit all people. It's my job to deliver exercises that, based on what I know of the person, will actually fit. So it's up to them to go away and do the work, and they don't want to do the work because they won't fix. That's an eye roller for me. I find it quite difficult. Did you do the bubble exercise? I asked this question yesterday. I call it the bubble exercise. I'm not going to go into it now. We don't have time. Did you do the bubble exercise? Well, I couldn't get my head around it, so no, was the response. And it's quite simple, not complicated. Sorry, go on.
I just said another eye roller is when a person already is qualified or knows something. Like I sometimes have other psychologists being my clients or other practitioners. And yesterday, one of my clients said, "Can you imagine some kind of like imagination, active imagination work with imagining energy flows?" And she's been practicing qigong for who knows how many years, and she says like, "Oh, I know all this like energy stuff perfectly well." But they said, try imagining and then gave you a completely different motive, not the like traditional Qigong with ways of moving the energy, but a different way. And it worked like magic. She had this relief. But the first thing, oh, I know this. And it's like another shield. I know this. Oh, I've heard that so many times. And another thing that makes my hour roll. What's new? Like, what is there anything new these psychologists can tell me? But we're not telling. We sometimes tell people things, but mostly in a way of just little, you know, educational moments, or maybe explaining a little bit, because I find that explanation helps to many people, especially intellectuals, but you still have to do the work down there. Yeah, but it's like another eye-rolling moment. It's like, oh, there's nothing new.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
absolutely. Yeah. One of my personal things is if I present an exercise to you, I will have practiced it. I will have practiced it and noted how it affects me. Because I think if I deliver an exercise to a client without knowing what it feels like, then I'm doing them a disservice. So if I ask you to do something, you can know that I've done it too. I think that's quite important. And we're going to have to finish in a moment, but there are lots of other eye rollers that I think we can valuably spend time on. So I think we're going to have to come back to this next time. We were talking about resistance to trying energy work, for example, you just mentioned, and resistance because they've already got some experience, therefore they think their experience knows more, whatever. There's lots of different reasoning that can come into that. And people assume quite often that their way is the best way. It's the way they've known for such a long time. It may be one of the reasons why they have particular challenges at that time. It's not always the case, but it often is. So we've got to allow ourselves to say, okay, I've got my ways, I've had my ways for dealing with this, and this. But yeah, I need to be open. I need to hear what the therapist has to say. They've got a lot of experience. They know what they're talking about. So I at least need to be open to listen, because being open to listen is a way forward and change starts to happen. Wrap it up, Leo. What are you going to finish with?
Oh, I think we're opening a Pandora's box of eye-rolling moments for a therapist.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we are. So let's come back and do some more next time.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of things we can talk about. And one of them that I really wanted to cover today, but there isn't time. I'm just going to ask a question and you're not allowed to answer it. Is therapy passive? Have a think about
it. Okay, next time. Until next time.
Take care, everybody. See you later.
Yeah, and we'll do our work.
We will.